What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So at the request of a subscriber, we are making a video of the top 10 statues that I am not listing right now, but I could see myself selling in the future. There's definitely plenty of statues that are like, I will never sell you. You know, Khaleesi bust, my underworld setup, stuff like that. Like those are lifers for me, like pretty much any of my ECC statues I will never sell. But let's talk about what I would sell, and I will go from room to room. So in the AVP setup, considering the fact that I am keeping this setup, the only statue that I will consider selling would be XM Predator. And the only reason I will consider selling that is because, one, it's not movie. Two, I would get the Infinity Studios City Hunter Predator. It's 1/4, so it's a little smaller, but it is from the actual movie. Now, I do love XM Predator. It's a fantastic statue. But City Hunter Predator is the movie version, and I would consider definitely getting it. And selling this one. So that would be the only one on this wall that we will be consider selling. Now, the horror setup, I have perfected my horror wall once I get everything I need, so I will not consider selling anything. I did sell my old Chucky, but I got a better one and cheaper and made like $600 in the process. So I'm very happy with my whole Chucky transaction I did. But every one of these horrors, I do not plan to ever sell. Alrighty, coming up into this room. So, statues I would consider selling in here. One is going to be the Prime 1 Batman, simply to get the J&D Batman, but I wouldn't want just the J&D Batman, I would want the Armory. Recently, there was shown an Armory 1/3 scale with J&D sitting inside of it. I don't know if it will fit right here. And normally I, prefer the Prime 1 Batman over J&D. I like the pose and base better. It's bigger. It matches the Bane better. But if I could get J&D, I would probably actually move Batman to the left and do J&D right here. As you can see, I can scoot her over a few inches, and there's a few inches here. But if we put this all the way to the left and do the J&D Armory Batman here, if I could fit that, and the price is not too much, and I can sell this for, let's say, at least $1,000, I think I would do that. If it won't fit and it's just too expensive to do that route, then I'll just keep it as is. But I would do that. So Batman is another one. Now, this is in no particular order. But yeah, Batman is definitely one of them. Black Widow bust. I would sell that if we get a better Black Widow bust. I'm not selling it until we can see a better one. There's only 2 of these in the world, and I'm probably the only one that would sell it. So it's really kind of a one of a kind. And I do like the bust. Granted, it has its issues. But if we ever actually get a better custom bust, because Queen will never do a licensed Black Widow bust. It's not going to happen. So custom's the only route. But let's say the guy that did the Iron Man Robert Downey Jr. bust decides, you know what, I'm going to make the perfect Scarlett Johansson Avengers 1 bust. I would definitely buy that in a heartbeat and sell this one. I will also sell probably eventually that Iron Man bust. I'm not selling it now, but when we eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, get like Hawkeye busts. There is somewhat hope of a Hawkeye bust. It would be the only remaining Avengers character I do not have in life-size bust form, like the OG team. And I really want the OG team. Now, I'd probably move her, like in Captain Marvel spot, do Captain Marvel here, and then right here do Black Widow. Well, I'd probably actually do those 2 there and do Black Widow there and Hawkeye there. But yeah, Hawkeye is definitely one I will, sell that Iron Man bust. Another potential one would be Star-Lord. He's probably the only other character I would want in life-size bust form. And I do not want... I want the masked portrait. I do not want an unmasked version of that character. Ant-Man don't really care to have, and all the other characters, looking at everything, Scarlet Witch would be cool, but there's been several custom busts, and they were not good enough. I would not need a life-size Bucky or Falcon. Don't need War Machine. Yeah, so I mean, realistically, it's just Hawkeye. He's Hawkeye or Star-Lord. That's it. Those are the only two Marvel busts I ever even want that would replace that Iron Man. All right, so far that's 4 in this room. I would consider selling KD Goku bust if KD does Goku 2.0 with 2 arms. That's the only scenario I'm going to sell this. Otherwise, I would just keep this forever. But if he does a second one where he decides to do double arms, I mean, I really like this pose, actually. I just wish that was another arm. The thing is, you obviously can't have it just going down low, so that's why he did that, because the idea is, the pose is one hand up, the other down, which is hard with a bust, because if it was hanging down, it'd be down to like right here. So that just wouldn't work. So I do understand why he did it, but let's just say he decided to do a Kamehameha pose similar to his Super Saiyan 4 bust. If he did a Kamehameha pose, let's just say like Prime 1 Goku, then I would 100% sell that and get that. So that is number 5. In terms of the video game statues, there's just a few I think will probably end up on the chopping block in the future, simply because there would come out a video game from like a different video game I want more. For example, I would definitely part ways with Neo if I needed space and we have like Elden Ring or Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy VII. Tomb Raider, I want to get rid of that eventually when we get a newer, accurate game version by Prime 1. So if they get the Tomb Raider license, they make a first game lore. That's my ideal one, is first game. Like a super sick one, just like that Nathan Drake. I definitely immediately part ways with that Weta. Now, I love that Weta. And if it was game accurate, I would probably never sell it. But I am a sucker for game accuracy in terms of like, I want it to be the new Laura, not the OG. So, yeah. Lara Croft, Neo would definitely be on my chopping block in terms of video games. In general, pretty much every Prime 1 statue I never plan to sell outside of that Neo. That's the only one. And that one I would sell for 2 reasons. One, it's a tiny bit overscaled in the portrait. Like, if you look at his head next to Jin Sakai, it's a little bit too big. I don't know, maybe just William has a giant head. And secondly, there are other games I like more than, Neo. I do love Neo. It's a great game. But there are games I like more, like Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII. Those 3 games are an Elden Ring. Those are like the 4 games that are some of my favorite games of all time that I simply just do not have statue representation from, and I do want to get it eventually. So I would eventually part ways with one of my links. Which one? Honestly, not sure, but maybe that one. I love that one so much, but this one's just so freaking perfect. All right, so that leaves us with a few more. So as you know, like I had posted on Instagram and kind of talked about my video, I will, consider selling this Hulkbuster with Mark 43. And I would even potentially probably get rid of Balrog. As much as I love Balrog, if I really need space for like Neytiri bust and it's between Balrog and Neytiri, I will choose Neytiri. That is definitely a fact. Now, I freaking love this to death. It's a grail, but I don't have space anywhere else. And for the most part, my Lord of the Rings is bust in 1/4. This is the only thing out of scale. And I still would get a Balrog with the Gandalf Ultimate. So, I mean, ideally, I want to keep this. I freaking love it to death. It is so amazing in every possible way. But if it came down to it, I think I would part ways with Balrog, Fellbeast, Grimlock. I mean, if I can sell Grimlock now, because the idea is I need space for Alita and Khaleesi bust, and I have to have space for their quarter scale. I'm not just going to keep just the bust. I need the quarter scale to go with it. The best way to go about it is to do... I mean, I might be able to do Khaleesi bust in 1/4 right here. Generally, I prefer more depth, and Alita bust in 1/4 could technically fit where Hulkbuster's at, which would leave space for everything down low to remain as is. But I was kind of thinking Khaleesi bust in the closet with the, the dragon eggs right there, Khaleesi bust, then do like her plaque up there, and then do quarter cell Khaleesi down here because she fits there perfectly. And then you do Alita bust right here with Alita 1/4 there. And depends what I sell first. I could keep G.I. Joe and just do G.I. Joe down here and we just get rid of Grimlock, Fellbeast, and Hulkbuster. Then you have all quarter scale down low. Elitibus, and you still keep Balrog in that situation. So that potentially could work, but like I said, yeah, like we've already technically posted kind of those. So the only thing we're adding to this list would technically be like Balrog, like number 8. The only other option for Khaleesi and Alita display is if we parted ways with every one of these statues. You know, now if I could just get what I paid on every one of these Transformers, I would probably just get rid of those before getting rid of Balrog and everything else. But I know for a fact, like, these just don't sell. You know, like, I could not get $2,000 for that Megatron or Optimus. You know, like, I just will not get the money I want. And these are amazing statues, and it looks really good the way I've set it up. So it's just easier to sell, I believe, you know, like the other characters. You know, but if I could, you know, let's just say this as a whole, this would be number 9. Number 10 would actually be MK quarter scale. You know, if push comes to shove, I got a good offer, I need the statue space, I would part ways with MK quarter scale line. So, if you're unfamiliar, MK stands for Mortal Kombat, and basically every statue down low. I'd keep MK Mortal Kombat purely to 1/3 and basically this top shelf, and reserve this for future Prime 1 quarter scale statues. As Prime 1 quarter scale are the definite video game statues out there. No other company can come close. You know, so if eventually, let's say, Prime 1 comes out with a Final Fantasy VII line, they have all the characters, I need the space. I'm like, all right, MK's got to go. We got Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong from Prime 1, and I need space, MK's going to go. But the likelihood of them doing Final Fantasy VII, I would say, is about 1%. I mean, look at what the Final Fantasy Terra statue cost, $12,000. You know, Square Enix, I mean, good God. I think custom's the only route. I think Black Myth Wukong, there is hope. Stellar Blade, there is hope. We know they got Elden Ring license, but they have not revealed it. You know, but that would be number 10. You know, other than that, the majority of, you know, for the most part, I never want to sell statues, folks. Never. If I had unlimited amount of space and money, I would not sell a single statue ever. I love all my statues. I bought them because I love them, and it pains me to sell them. Like, I don't want to sell Night King and Jon Snow. I love those pieces. They are so good, especially Night King. That is such a good statue. But it comes down to, I need space. I want my collection to look good, and what is more important to me. You know, and, you know, I don't have unlimited money. I don't have unlimited space. And so, unfortunately, we have to sell things from time to time. You know, I want to get a different piece, so I got to figure out, what do I sell that I don't like as much? You know, when I got a really good offer for Mummy and Medusa, I was like, okay, that's a lot of money. I could definitely use it. I want to get the Hellboy line. What's more impressive, the Hellboy line or Mummy, Medusa, Cyclops, and Anubis? That's how I kind of come down to, you know, if I want to sell something. What do I like more? What's more impressive? What's more important to me? You know, because I love all my statues. They're all very impressive. I never want to sell them ever. But we have to do what we have to do, folks, because, like I said, Flankster does not have unlimited money and space. You know, I cannot bring statues upstairs. The wife has made that very clear. So, and you do not want to fight with her. She will win every time. So, but yeah, these are statues that I'm not listing for sale right now. But, you know, in the future, if we ever need space, money, whatnot, if stars all aligned and someone contacts me and said, hey, Flankster, I will buy that entire Transformer line and I will give you X amount of dollars, and I live one state away, and I'm like, done, let's do it. Go find the boxes, start boxing them up, and then boom, I have space. You know, but yeah, anyways, folks, that is it. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.